Big up everybody and warm welcome back to SportSentric. I'm your host, Philip 9, and this is the World Cup preview show. Right, first and foremost, we're going to split this up into subcategories because it's going to be too long and we don't want to talk about all the teams so far. So we're going to give you the first four groups of the World Cup in this section, and then in the next section, we're going to build on to that. And with that, we're going to start off with Group A. And that's Mexico versus South Africa versus Czech Republic versus South Korea. Now, as a Spurs fan, obviously we know South Korea because of Heung-min Son. But we also got to look at the likes of Kang-in Lee, who plays for Paris Saint-Germain, also playing for South Korea as well. And we all know that he is a formidable forward. He's going to bomb forward, and both of them together are going to be the hopes of South Korea as they go into the tournament. Now, the host Mexico, I am being impressed with Mexico. I can't lie. Wait a minute. Sorry about this. Wait a minute. We seem to have a comment in the sections. Let me see if I can see it. Let me see if we can see the comment section. Hopefully we'll see it. I can't see it very well. But big up whoever's in the chat. Thank you for watching. But anyway, let's talk about Mexico and the hopes of their nation and who it's going to be on. Now, we all know that Raul Jimenez, who has just left Fulham to go back to Wolves, is going to be their main focal point forward. But they've also got, I hope I don't butcher the man's name yet, but Quinones, or Quinones, who plays in Saudi Arabia up front with him. Now, those two together are a formidable duo, and they're going to be carrying the hopes of Mexico on their shoulders. Then you have behind them Billy Gutierrez, and you've also got Fidalgo, who also plays for Real Betis. Now, these are going to be important players for Mexico as they go into the tournament. And they're going to be the ones that the nation pins their hopes upon. And I would love to see Mexico do well out of the nation. South Africa aren't that kind of well known, but they do have another one. I'd hope they don't be. They've got Shidal, obviously, who's a centre midfielder, who's a very good centre midfielder, and he is a DM, and he's very good at his job. And then you've also got the new wonder kid who plays for Portland, Medea, I believe his name is. And this is the beauty of the World Cup. We're going to see a lot of these players that people haven't seen come into the limelight. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Names that we might not have known on a day-to-day basis are going to come into the limelight. And this is the ultimate shop window for any football fan and for any football club, really. And I can understand why teams wait to see what happens after the World Cup, because maybe they can get a gem of the World Cup here quite cheap or reasonable. Let me just see this a minute. I got my mate Cookmaster in the chat. I hope it is. Big up Parufa. Oh, big up Ghosted. Thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. But anyway, as we move through Group A, I'm looking at the four nations and I'm thinking Mexico should be a shoo-in for the next round, especially after their latest result where they beat Serbia 5-1 in a friendly match. And it's a question of which other two of the three are going to go through with them. Now, I can't see South Africa making it there, even with their strong defense, physical defense. I don't mean strong as in good, but strong as in physical defense and their midfield. I just feel like they're not going to score the goals that's necessary. And then you're looking at Czech Republic, and you're looking at South Korea. And South Korea, I'm looking at with their athleticism and the likes of what, like I just said, Kang and Lee. And I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, I think they're going to make it through in place of Czech Republic. But what are your thoughts? Throw them in the chat. Let me think of what you think of Group A. But I'm definitely putting my hopes on Mexico coming through that one straight away, because the home nation always gets through to the next round. So I'll be looking at them being the home nation that gets through. Now, Group B. Group B. We're starting with my team, Canada. Big up Brian Daigle when I say this one, Canada. And it's the one player I look forward to in the last tournament was Tejor Buchanan. He is a fantastic winger. Since that last tournament, he's gone to Inter Milan. He hasn't really done well there, and he's moved on to Real Betis. But I still think there's a player in there because we've actually seen some of the work that he's done. And I think that he's going to carry the nation's hope. Him and Jonathan David are going to be the two, especially Jonathan David, because Jonathan David's left Lille and now gone to Juventus. He's failed to establish himself in the first season. So this is his major time to show up, especially in a home tournament in Canada, for him to show up and show the nation why he is regarded as one of the strikers in the world and why Juventus got him in. Even though it was on the free, they got him in. And then you've got Larkin, and you've got, of course, Alphonso Davies. And Alphonso Davies, unfortunately, is injured and he's doubtful for the first game. But Alphonso Davies and his impact is going to be massive for them, especially with the fact that he plays for Bayern Munich. Now, Bosnia and Herzegovina, they've got a few players like Memovic and how do I say the noun? Mamijevic and Demirovic, and you've got Edin Dzeko as their captain. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they function in the World Cup as well, because I think it's their first time in the World Cup, and Edin Dzeko is not going to make it to the next World Cup. I'm looking at that and thinking, this is his chance to shine for Bosnia and Herzegovina. So let's see what they have to carry, because that's going to be new as well. But I think the one team that's going to make it through that group easily is going to be Switzerland. They've got Arden Jaziri, who plays for AC Milan. You've also got Manuel Kanji, who plays for Inter Milan. And you've got Gregor Kobel, who plays for Borussia Dortmund. And you've also got Rodrigo Rodriguez. And that's all behind Yannick Shaqiri, who plays for Sunderland. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Switzerland play. And like I said before, Group A, this is all subjective. I'm just putting these thoughts out. What are your thoughts coming into this tournament? Who do you think is going to make it through Group B? Because to me, Group B seems more tricky and there's more unpredictability in Group B than there is in Group A. I just think Mexico, and South Korea should make it through. And with this group here, I think it's more questionable. So, but both groups don't really inspire me, to be fair. I think in this World Cup here, I think there's too many nations in there, to be fair. A lot of nations are making their debuts in the tournament, like Dr. Congo. But it's just maybe I don't think the tournament will set a light into the knockout phases, but I could be wrong. I just think there's so many games coming up in the first week that Mexico play on tomorrow and they're not going to play again until next Friday. That's how many groups there are. It goes all the way up from Group A to Group L. And this, for me, it means that the tournament is going to be diluted, I feel. I think there's going to be a lot of nothing games. But it's like I said earlier, it's about seeing some of these players that people have never known of before coming through and shining for their nation. And with that, I'm going to mention Group C. Group C has the United States of America in it. And a lot of the hopes are riding on the Robinsons, especially Anthony Robinson of Fulham. Tim Ream, of course, is back again. You've got Arneson. You've got Weston McKennie of Juventus. And you've got quite a nucleus of a side there underneath Pochettino. Now, Poch isn't really liked over there, and I can understand why. His methodology of football while it's entertaining to some, it can also be that it leaves them wide open for them to get hit. And some games I think Poch goes in not to lose rather than to win, but that's just me, innit? And like I said, up to you to debate it if you want to. Throw that in the chat. Let me see what you got. Put it down. Like I say, it's not just a challenge for me. It's not just a challenge for you. It's a challenge for me as well. I want to see what you got. So write it down in the questions and answers, and I'll get back to you on these when I can. But I'm not impressed with the likes of. Let me get it right. Group C is Brazil's group. Let me get it right because the two games are mixed up, Group D and Group. But if I'm going to go Group D, which is United States and Weston McKennie, then we also have to mention Paraguay, who's their first match with Almiron, who formerly played for Newcastle and now moved clubs, and Santa Barea, who's going to be their front forward. Then we also have the Australians in there as well. Now, Australia, there are quite a few of their players still outside Australia, but a majority of them play in it. But we've still got Matt Ryan, we've still got Matthew Leckie, and they've still got Harry Suter of Rangers in their team. Turkey, on the other hand, are my dark horses. And I think they'll make it through Group D alongside America. And I think Turkey will win the group, to be fair. I am impressed with Turkey. They've got Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who plays for Inter Milan in their ranks. They also have Kadoklu, who plays for Brighton in their ranks as well. They've got Sinju, who used to play for Leicester City in their ranks. They've got Zaki Selik, who plays for Roma in their ranks. You've got, like I said, Koku. You've got Yildiz in there as well. Yilmaz in there. But the one player I'm looking for Turkey, and I'm looking people in the face here and I say this, Arda Güler. Arda Güler is a special, special player. At the age of 19, if you remember back to the last Euros, I believe he was the star for Turkey in that Euros. The fans, you could hear them behind him. Every touch of the ball, it was Güler. And now, 2 years later, we are going to see Güler. Last season at Real Madrid, I always felt that he should have been the cam. And that's what Alonso did, to be fair. He moved him into midfield and played him regularly. And we've seen some of Güler coming through. Now, this time at this World Cup, I think we're going to see Arda Güler. And he was scoring from 25 yards out in the first game. I dread to think of what he's going to be doing in this one. But he is a player I rate very highly. And I've seen evidence of his work. So, like I said, it's up to you. If you want to question Arda Güler, question it. But I think he's going to be the star carrying Turkey in this World Cup. But then, like I said, they've got Yildiz and they've got Yilmaz as well. But just for me, something special about Arda Güler. And then we go to Brazil's group, Group D. Now, Brazil, we all know they've got the likes of Vini Jr., Marquinhos, the likes of Rafinha, Endrick leading their line. Neymar, the great Neymar, is now in the Brazil squad as well. The only good thing Brazil did is leave that pigeon at home, to be fair. bad player. We'll talk about that when we talk about Tottenham. Hopefully, he'll be one of the ones that are gone. If anything, yeah, I was hoping he might play in the tournament, because if he played in the tournament, Spurs might be able to sell him and get some money in. But hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. You just got to take advantage if you can get it. And they're the ones there. And being the ultimate shop window, if we can get him out on the cheap, hey, that's all good. But they got Paqueta, and then you've got, let me get it right, Alisson of Liverpool in there. Now, another team I'm looking forward to seeing is Morocco. In their last friendly game, Morocco impressed me in the fact that Brahim Diaz of Real Madrid has really shone in the last few games. You can see how pivotal he is to their front line. And you also have in there Hakimi from PSG in there. And then you've got my man, Mr. Onani. I like Mr. Onani. And he had years of football at Marseille, and now he's gone to Saudi Arabia, and I believe he's shining over there. And he is a player I do like in their midfield. He brings the ball forward, he carries it, he's got a little shot on him. And I think they could do a shock on Brazil, to be fair, because I have not been impressed with Brazil defensively. And they finished sixth in their qualification for South America to get into the tournament. I reckon they can be got at defensively. And I reckon, if anything, Morocco might be the first shock of the tournament of beating Brazil. But hey, it's up to people. If you want to challenge it by all means. But I just don't think they're good defensively. But like I said, we'll talk about defensively later on, especially in other teams as we go through the groups, because this is only going to be A to D today. And then hopefully Sunday, yeah, when the Group D matches are played, we're going to do E to E, F, G, H, and then we'll do the rest of them at a later point again. And then we'll do ones as we go into the tournament, like the quarterfinals, we'll do one, and so on and so forth. But like I said, all this is opinion based and subjective. I want to be challenged. So I'm throwing it out to you. Challenge me. And hopefully we'll have Corey on here and he'll be able to debate as well. And then we'll be able to have a repertoire about football later on. But we want to be challenged on SportSentric. So we're throwing it out to you. Don't just give us one word answers, oh, it's crap, but give us an in-depth of why do you think it's rubbish. Give an index of why do you think that comment shouldn't be made or should be made. Or give us some factual evidence of why you think that. Because I've watched a lot of these players play individually outside tournaments, but I'm ready to see them play in a tournament. And a lot of them, yeah, are going to be playing with the eyes of the world on them on this tournament. Let's see if how many can handle the pressure. Because a lot of players today, yeah, I can't see handle pressure, but it's going to be a lot of pressure in this tournament, a lot of eyes on it as well. Because the only thing on par with the World Cup is the Olympic Games, like I said on Quick Master Show earlier. Oops, something's coming through. Sorry about that. Hopefully we don't have technical difficulty like we did this morning. And please, a massive shout out to Pete Chambers, who came on earlier to talk about He-Man on BMGT. Please get over and watch that. Hopefully the video came out okay. I haven't really checked it, but hopefully it came out all right. And massive thank you to Pete Chambers. And hopefully he'll come on more to talk about more games and movies and that as the series unfolds. And we're going to try to do one video a week, like we say on this. But anyway, let's finish back to group of Brazil. And we're going to talk about Haiti. And we're going to talk about Scotland. Haiti, the players aren't really well known. You've got the likes of Lewiton, you've got the likes of Dickinson and Fontwell and Eunice Fortune. But we just don't know what Haiti's going to show up, because it's like I say, it's their first tournament. But one team I am looking forward to, and I was so disappointed the last European Championships, is Scotland, with the likes of John McGinn in there. Oops, now I'm getting pictures. Sorry about this. People are rude, eh? All right, let's say I'm streaming. They like to throw in a little whatever. But anyway, I digress. But Scotland, for me, yeah, they have John McGinn, you've got Andrew Robertson, you've got a strong spine in there. But this tournament, they're finally going to have Lewis Ferguson. Now, Lewis Ferguson is a player that I rate. And I rate a lot of Scottish players who actually go out from SBL, yeah, and go down to Italy, like Aaron Hickey, who went from Hearts down to Italy. And you've got you've got Gaul in the Portuguese league as well. So you've got quite a few Scottish players who test themselves outside of England and outside the UK. And one of them for me is Lewis Ferguson. Now, Lewis Ferguson has left Scotland and he's gone to Italy and established himself at Bologna. And he is a very, very good player. And he's going to be instrumental to the way Scotland play. And I'm looking forward to seeing Lewis Ferguson because, like I said, in the last Euros, yeah, unfortunately, he was injured. So we never got to see him play. And I think he was a major part of why Scotland didn't really do well. Now, I want to see how he plays because I reckon Scotland will get through this group. And it's a toss between Brazil and Morocco for me. Or it could well be Brazil and Scotland. But like I said, I just don't rate Brazil. But it's like, then they're subjective and people can believe it or not. But with that, yeah, I'm going to end the show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Big up Ghosted, my friend. Big up whoever else is in the chat. Thank you for watching. And we'll come back with the next couple of letters, which are going to be E to, let me get again, E, F, G, I. All right, we'll speak next time on